In the last lesson, we generated our new JHipster tasks application, and we just simply went through answering all the questions and then running it from both the client side and the server side. In this lesson, I want to take a quick walkthrough of the UI just so we can start to talk about what JHipster has done already for us. So once you have the Spring Boot app up and running, basically it says the tasks application is running. You can go ahead and hit it at localhost 8080. So I'm going to do that. We'll refresh. And again, what it's going to do is take us to our home page. So this is the default kind of route that you're going to go to, default component that you're going to hit as far as Angular goes. This is our home page, and it just has some information about JHipster. So here's some links down here. Here's our logo. We can see again that our profile is in dev. Here's the name of our application, and here's some links. So here's some information here. If you want to sign in, you can try the default accounts. We have an admin and a user account, and we also can create an account. So if we go into register new account, we can say I want my username to be this. This is my email. My password is password. And again, remember, I decided to use the H2 in-memory database. So if I go ahead and restart this application, this user will be gone. But if we go ahead and hit register, registration is saved. Now, if we were trying to log in with this person, it's not going to let us. It's because by default it's deactivated. So if I said dvega and password, it doesn't look like that's good. So what's going on here is we need to sign in as an admin. So admin. And from the administrator, we have a couple of new tabs here. We have entities and administration. So entities we'll get into, but from the administration side, we get user management built in. So not only have we had this nice sign-in feature, we've also had a registration feature built for us. And now we have a user management system built for us. So you can just think, if we went back to our tasks application that we built in the first section, just what it would take to just make these simple things as user management, login, and registration. Like, that would take us a long time. So this was already done for us. As we can see, my new user is still deactivated. We haven't activated him yet. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that user. And if we go ahead and log out, and now we try to sign in as dvega, password, we can even remember me and go ahead and sign in. So now I'm logged in just as that user dvega. And I have that entities up here. I do not have that administration because I was not given the admin privileges. So not only do we have this entire kind of login, log out user management system, we've got role access defined. So different things for different roles of users in our application. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out again. Let's go into sign in as admin again. And something else that we saw there, if you go into settings, you can actually come in and update your own user profile if you need to. So let's go back to user. Again, we have user management. We can create a new user from here. We can edit, delete, and view all of these. We also have some nice pagination down here. We also get a lot of the kind of metrics and endpoints that we get with the actuator out of the box, but we get these nice little user interfaces to go along with them. So if we take a look at metrics, we get some really good information about our application that's going on right now. And again, in dev, this may not be the most useful thing, but in production, it absolutely is. So we get all kinds of just metrics of what's going on in our application. So once you get an application built and there's actually some things going on, go ahead and come back in here and take a look at that. We get some information about our health. So how's our disk space? How's our DB? Configuration. So this is going to show you all of the configuration we have in our application. And maybe we don't know, maybe it's called server. We can actually come in here and filter by this. So we can come down and see server. And these are all of the different things for the server. So here's Tomcat settings, SSL, port we're running on 8080. Again, just a nice way to dig through our configuration without having to jump into the code. So that's configuration. Then we have audits, what's going on in our application. So right now we can see that both admin Andy Vega have logged in to our application. So this is kind of showing us that information there. Then we also have logs. So logs give us a way to check out all the different logs in here, and we can also change our log levels, which is pretty cool. So if you need to change a log level for a specific log, you can go in here and do it. You can also filter them down just like we did in the configuration section. Then we also have API. So this is going to bring up our Swagger documentation, which if you've never seen Swagger is really cool. So we can come in here into our user resource and we see all of the different endpoints. So if we want to get a list of users, we call get all users. And this is the response that we get, 200. Here's our example value. So the data that we would get from that. And you can see different parameters. So if you wanted to do paging on that user, you could. Here are the different response methods, and etc. So if you've never seen Swagger, it's just a really awesome way of documenting your API. And then finally, we have database. And in our case, that's going to take us over to the H2 console and go ahead and allow us to check that out. So that's pretty much everything you're going to see from there. Entities, there are no entities in our application yet. Again, we don't generate any brand new entities when we generate a new application. So we'll do that as we start to build out our application, but that's about it. But as I said, I mean, just generating our entire application structure and putting all of this together for us and giving us all these security features and user management stuff. I mean, this has given us a real leg up on our application development from where we started in the first section where we had to do everything kind of manually. So that's the UI walkthrough. In the next lesson, we'll kind of dive in, import that project into IntelliJ and start taking a look at some of the code. So with that, let's go ahead and move on.